licensed to New Bern, North Carolina.
I'm Dr. Kyle Horner from Carolina Arthritis Center. Living with arthritis or joint pain doesn't have to limit your life. At Carolina Arthritis Center in Greenville, we're Eastern North Carolina's only private, single-specialty rheumatology clinic dedicated exclusively to your joint health. Our experienced team offers comprehensive care all under one roof, from consultations and joint injections to on-site laboratory, x-ray, bone density testing, and our specialized infusion suite. No more running around to multiple locations for your arthritis evaluation. When you need expert rheumatology care, choose the specialist who focus solely on conditions like yours every single day. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your mobility and comfort are our main priority. Call 252-321-8474 or visit carolina-arthritis.com to schedule your consultation today. Again, that number is 252-321-8474. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your journey to health begins.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. Yes, good morning, Greenville. Good morning, Eastern North Carolina. Good morning, North Carolina. Good morning, the USA. Good morning, North America. And good morning to the world. Yes, good morning, Aban, Nigeria, and South Africa, and Lagos. Yes, good morning, and welcome to another incredible episode of your favorite weekend show. This is Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio Network. Yes. And good morning too to our new listeners. Well, maybe not our new listeners, our not so new listeners in Newborn and surrounding areas who are reaching us on WNOS 102.3 FM and 1450 AM. We see you and we appreciate you. Yes, this is Pitt Perspectives, where culture meets community and conversations build connection. As always, I'm your friend, your host, your favorite voice on the radio, the man, the McCall, Victor Ihuka. Yes, and as always, I'm here with my two amigos, my two friends that have been forcefully forced on me. Yes, how you guys doing, fellas? AY and Patrick. What's up, guys?
Yeah, they say you're not your friend. They
Who
say
said?
you're your guy.
Oh, okay. Guy, why are you opening old wounds?
Good morning, Greenville. Good morning, Pitt County. This is AY, and I want to welcome you to your favorite Saturday morning show, Pitt Perspectives, and we are so excited. Today is the last day of the month, guys.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so we're so excited this morning, and it's going to be a wonderful show, packed with so much for you guys. So call your friends, your families, your neighbors,
Your enemies,
your colleagues,
everybody.
and everyone around. Tell them that we're live on air, and they should join in. It's going to be an amazing show this morning. Patrick.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey,
Good
one to the two.
morning. This is Patrick once again on the one, the two, the three, the awesome radio. Amazing Saturday morning as always. The sun is out. Day looks beautiful. It's the end of the month. We are all happy. People are getting paid. Come on.
Who is getting? Are you guys getting paid? Do you know that meme?
Is that
You guys are getting paid.
yeah, it's the end of the month, and this
Oh,
is,
yeah, that's what he means, actually.
yeah.
Oh, I see what you
Who
mean.
is that?
Like, for workers now, if you're working, you
Yes.
receive your pay at the end of the month.
Yes.
That's what he means. People are
Yes.
getting paid.
People are happy.
Well,
You
People
guys
are
are
watching
getting,
us
you
as
guys
smart.
are getting paid.
what it also means, like, bills are due. So,
Well, that part,
yeah, that's
But people are more happy to see the funds than
well, that part too.
Yes, the excitement is in the air.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're concluding a beautiful historic Black History Month. Hey, one time for Black History Month.
Yeah,
Come
come
on.
on, one time. Yeah, shout out to the folks in the chats. We are waiting, past feathers. Yes, we are waiting too. We're excited. Yes, guys. So how's you guys' week been?
This week has
Any-
been like,
Bro, you took that
very-
personal.
bro.
You took that
On
personal.
Thursday evening, I had a paper that was due by 11:59, and I had an exam by 8 p.m.
Okay.
So
Same day.
the same day. So the exam was supposed to, and it's not take home, like, of course it was take home, but it was not take home of go and do it. No, it was start now and submit in the next. They
Wow.
actually gave us 3 hours for the exam. But
But it's
Why are you
open
complaining?
book though.
Yeah, it was open.
Okay.
Why are you
that's good.
complaining then?
It was. You think so? You think somebody gives you an exam and says it's open book? You think is a walkover for someone to tell you that go and open your book
Yeah, it's
in
interesting.
your house? You can
But I
imagine
mean-
the kind of questions. They're not
levels.
questions of what is. They are questions that you have to think and come up with.
Yeah, shout out to
responses
you,
yourself.
Omotayo. Whole lot people, it's Omotayo from Mbaya.
Yeah,
Man. Shout out to our people from Mbaya. You guys should be inviting people from South Africa, Johannesburg. Do you even have friends?
Have
in
you
the
been to
community?
Johannesburg, South Africa before?
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Wait, do you even have friends or family or anybody in South Africa?
Have you been to Johannesburg?
Where are you from? AY. Lagos.
I'm from Nigeria.
Ibadan. You should
Nigeria.
invite your Ibadan people.
Nigeria, stand up.
Wait, really? You know Enzo is from the same place.
Enzo,
Ryan Enzo.
the
He's from
streamer.
The streamer, yeah.
Oh,
Where is he
yeah.
from?
Ibadan, he says.
Wow,
That's why I heard
that's
that
nice.
statement. That's why I even know the place.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. So, yes, folks, this is still Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio Network. And we'll be back with the top community news right after the break. Don't touch that dial. Boom.
I'm Dr. Kyle Harner from Carolina Arthritis Center. Living with arthritis or joint pain doesn't have to limit your life. At Carolina Arthritis Center in Greenville, we're Eastern North Carolina's only private, single specialty rheumatology clinic dedicated exclusively to your joint health. Our experienced team offers comprehensive care all under one roof, from consultations and joint injections to on-site laboratory, x-ray, bone density testing, and our specialized infusion suite. No more running around to multiple locations for your arthritis evaluation. When you need expert rheumatology care, choose the specialist who focus solely on conditions like yours every single day. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your mobility and comfort are our main priority. Call 252-321-8474 or visit carolina-arthritis.com to schedule your consultation today. Again, that number is 252-321-8474. Carolina Arthritis Center.
Where your journey to health begins.
I am Miss Mary Cox. I'm Killer Pippin's mother from Awesome Radio.
Awesome radio. Yes, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, you feel it. Awesome. Awesome.
Yes, welcome back. This is still Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio Network. Yes, we're excited this morning, as you can hear from our voices. Yes, the excitement is palpable. Yes, February is Black History Month, and this weekend, ECU is hosting the Pan-African Diaspora Black History Celebration. This is powerful. Yes, over there at the Jenkins Fine Arts Center, there is intellectual discussions, storytelling, and a real celebration of identity. And that's what we are leaning in today. But first of all, we'll bring you the top community news recap, proudly presented by Carolina Arthritis Center. So thank you for Carolina Arthritis Center for believing in community radio and keeping us on air every single week. We appreciate you. What do we have, guys?
Yes. The first news I have here says Greenville crime trend shows progress.
Yes, Greenville's violent crime rate stayed about the same between 2024 and 2025, but the 5-year average is down 9%, according to Police Chief Richard Tyndall. Homicides increased slightly from 7 to 8, and rape reports rose from 17 to 24. However, robberies and aggravated assaults both declined. Property crime showed stronger improvements, with burglary, larceny, and auto theft all dropping significantly over the past year. Police emphasized that most violent crimes involved people who knew each other, meaning they were not random attacks. Traffic safety remains a major focus. Crashes increased slightly, with 4,532 reported in 2025, and pedestrian injuries also rose. The city lowered the speed limit on 10 streets near ECU and increased traffic stops by 52% to improve safety. Police also seized more than 800 guns last year and responded to nearly 500 calls about shots fired. Leaders say traffic enforcement and community partnerships remain key strategies to prevent crime moving forward. Yes, moving on.
Yeah, we also have school start time changes could save money.
Yes, Pitt County Schools is considering changing school start times to reduce transportation costs. Under a proposed three-tier system, elementary schools could start as early as 7:15 a.m., middle schools as late as 9 a.m., and high schools will shift accordingly. The goal is to allow buses to run three routes instead of two, reducing the number of buses from 194 to 160 and saving about $20,000 per bus each year. The plan has not yet been approved. District leaders say declining bus ridership is costing this district's money, with fewer students riding compared to before COVID. State transportation funding is expected to drop, meaning local taxpayers may have to cover more costs. Student board members stressed that parents and community members must be surveyed before any final decision is made, since schedule changes would affect families across the county. Yes, moving on.
Cold weather costs GUC $3 million.
Wow. The late January freeze and historic February snowfall cost Greenville Utilities Commission to spend $3 million more than usual on natural gas. As residents used more heat, demand increased sharply. GUC relied on its liquefied natural gas LNG plants to help manage supply and reduce additional costs, saving the system roughly the same amount it had to spend. Leaders say the extra costs may be covered by the Natural Gas Rate Stabilization Fund, which helps prevent sudden price increases for customers. If needed, the board may consider a temporary gas adjustment fee later this year. Officials said the LNG plant performed well during the storm and helped keep service reliable for customers. Yes, something to note. It's interesting how everybody was talking about the snow and all that, but nobody ever, realizes, all these other effects to, demand and supply. But I think it's something exciting to think about, how much we learn and find out from the show. Yes, on our last news of today.
Yeah, we also have PCC students receive the new $5,000 scholarship option.
Yes, health sciences students at Pitt Community College now have a new way to help pay for school. ECU Health has launched an academic loan scholarship program that offers $5,000 to eligible students in high demand healthcare programs. In return, students must agree to work full time for ECU Health for 1 year after graduation. The program supports degrees such as nursing, radiography, respiratory therapy, and surgical technology, and more. Applications are open through May 22 and require a short personal statement. Leaders say the goal is to strengthen the healthcare workforce in Eastern North Carolina while helping students afford their education. Yes, guys, that's all we have today on our top community news recap, proudly presented by Carolina Arthritis Center, where your journey to health begins. Yes, the chat is buzzing. W's in the chat. Yes, Uchendu Njonye says, glad to be here, the last episode of the month, and I'm expecting it to be impactful and edutaining. That's a combination of educationally and entertaining.
What are you saying?
Oh yeah, entertaining as always.
Yeah,
What's
great
that?
stuff, great stuff.
Why are you acting? Yes, Charis B. Jackson says, awesome grant, good for them, May 22, 2026. Yes, shout out to you, Charis. Abba Storytelling Hangout says, what you are doing over there is really interesting, and we are glad to be a part of this. Thank you, my folks from Abba. I see you all and I appreciate you. Yes, today on our Community Voices section, we are talking about something really interesting, something really important. This week on Pit Perspectives, we are having a conversation that carries history, pride, responsibility, and vision. Black History Month is more than a calendar moment. It's a living reminder that the story of America and, the whole world really is incomplete without the resilience, brilliance, sacrifice, and innovation of Black communities across generations. From freedom movements to cultural evolutions, from classrooms to courtrooms, from church pews to city halls, Black history is not just something we remember, it's something we continue. So, today, our topic for today's episode is Black History Month, honoring the past, shaping the future. Yes, and we have a couple questions as always for our listeners. Our questions this week are: how did you celebrate Black History Month this year? And then, what moments in Black history inspire you the most and why? And then we also have what makes this month meaningful to you personally. And the final question is, when future generations tell the story of this time, what do you hope they will say you contributed? That's deep, actually. So, yes, how did you celebrate Black History Month this year? What moments in Black history inspire you the most and why? And what makes this month meaningful to you personally? And then the oga patapata of them all. What's when future generations tell the story of this time? What do you hope they will say you contributed? Yes, as always, our calling numbers are 252-756-2008, 252-756-2008. Yes, our phone lines are open and our chats is open. You can send us a message everywhere from Facebook, Twitch. We're on Twitch now, YouTube, everywhere you
Everywhere,
get
we're
your
global, bro.
yeah, we're global, man. We're worldwide. We're worldwide. Yeah. And yes, Miss Akila just told me she's watching the show on TV. So
Wow.
yeah, we are
wow.
being streamed on
Yes,
on
GPAT
GPAT TV,
yeah.
yes, on the
So
cable
everywhere,
TV.
man.
Yes. So yes. On the chat, Shari says, great show. Hello, wonderful people. Roslyn Ngozi Ihuka. Shout out to you, Mom C. Shari said, love these guys. God bless them always. Ghana, Nigeria, and Johannesburg. So I imagine AY, you are the Ghanaian. Oh, wow. Our phone lines are buzzing already. You want us to take that?
Yeah, please let's do that.
Yes, good morning. You're live on Awesome Radio Network. This is Pitt Perspectives. Who do we have on the line?
You actually have Sharif.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yes. Good morning, Cherries. How have you been? Long time
Good
no see.
Saturday. It's good to see you guys. I'm actually watching you on the big screen right now.
Hey, come on, one time for the big screen. Yeah.
So to answer your question, what
Yes.
I've been doing for
Yes. How
February
did you
Black History
celebrate?
Month.
Yes. Oh, we have to go on a break right now.
A diaspora conference on Pan-Africanism and Black History celebrations, February 27th through March 1st on the campus of East Carolina University. There will be intellectual discussions, music performances, fashion shows, storytelling, cultural exhibitions, and more. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 27, 28, and March 1st, beginning 8 o'clock a.m. on the campus of East Carolina University. For more inquiries, email wangillam@ecu.edu. A diaspora conference on Pan-Africanism and Black History celebrations, February 27th through March 1st. Email wangillam@ecu.edu. Let's have an international dialogue.
Awesome radio. Yes, awesome. Awesome. Can you hear it? Awesome.
Yes, we're still live on Awesome Radio Network, and this is Speed Perspectives. Do we still have Sharice on the line?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for your patience. Yes, you are sharing with us how you've been celebrating Black History Month. Go ahead.
Yes, Victor. So two of the things that I've done were in connection actually with the community here that we live in, Pitt County, North Carolina. I've given a part 1 and part 2 of some inventors and Black waymakers that our culture and community are not usually used to hearing their names echoed. So that can be seen various times of the day on
Right.
GPAC TV 23.
Right.
And today I will be traveling to Raleigh, North Carolina
Right.
Oh wow.
to we got some tickets to look at the Black Out Loud celebration.
Mm.
It's a celebration of Black history. It'll be taking place today in Raleigh at 2 p.m. So those are my areas that I took part as America celebrates February as Black History Month. But I celebrated 365 days of the year. And to the three of you are Black history. Thank you
Yeah.
for letting me share.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Come on,
you.
one time. One time. Yes. 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 Are you still there, Sharice?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. So the next question is: what moments in Black history inspired you the most, and why?
Um, there are a few, but to give one, I would speak to some of the some of what our nation calls the downtrodden.
Mm.
There were individuals that were behind prison walls
Mm.
that sacrificed
Mm.
for advocacy of our civil rights. I may not be able to call them all by name,
Right.
but those are the people that I like to zone in and focus on
Right.
because these are the people that oftentimes go unnoticed, coupled with the roots of our culture, our people, our
Right.
bloodline.
Right.
And I'm one, as you guys know, I like to go back and research history,
Mhm.
and I've been blessed to actually tread on the grounds of what we call our motherland, which is
Wow.
Africa.
Wow.
And when I do go, I try to get as much education as I can. So
Amazing
that's how I
stuff.
would like to answer that, Victor.
Amazing stuff. So we'll ask you this one, the deepest one so far, and then we'll let you go. When future generations tell the story of this time, what do you hope they will say you contributed?
Mhm. And I've thought of that before.
Mm.
I hope that they would recognize me as an individual that made strong attempts
Mm-hmm.
to bring awareness
Mm-hmm.
to mental health,
Mm-hmm.
physical health,
Mm-hmm.
and the importance of our generations that became our ancestors.
Hallelujah.
I hope that they would acknowledge that I took a part in bringing that to the forefront.
Come on, one time for
Thanks,
Shari.
guys. I love you guys.
Yeah, thank you. We love
Thank
you
you.
too. We love you too. Have
Okay,
a
bye
good
bye
rest
for
of
now.
your day. Yes. That was powerful, man.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. It's been going down in the charts too. Zara's Empire says Black history. I've taken a seat. Right. Yeah, Zara's Empire. I have a beef with you. This Zara's Empire was the one that says I use big English. So I noted that name. We have a score to settle. Yes.
I
Yes.
don't think you stand a chance against because you're your own enemy when it comes to using big words.
So, yeah, haters. Yes, Esther Olamma Shedrack says, glad to be here today. Yes, we're glad to have you here today, Esther. Omotayo says, AY actually looks Ghanaian. Yeah, thank
I mean,
you.
we are all neighbors, West African neighbors.
Yeah,
Our
Kweku
neighbors.
Mensa.
No,
Akwaba.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
That's a name. That's your
Oh,
Ghanaian name.
no, I don't have a Ghanaian.
Yes. Opas Feda says, when future generations talk about me, I want them to say that there were options I did not choose. Interesting.
What does that even mean?
That's deep. Hey, come out fully and tell us what's going on.
Yeah,
Opas
what does
Fedas.
that mean?
Yes, but yes, it's an amazing conversation so far, guys. I'd like to turn to you all on the in the room, and then like anyone else listening, feel free to call us. Our calling numbers are 25275620008, 25275620008, and we're asking folks, how did you celebrate Black History Month this year? What moments in Black history inspire you the most, and why? What makes this month meaningful to you personally? And when future generations tell the story of this time, what do you hope they'll say you contributed? Yes, we'd like to hear from you. Yes, guys, let's start from you guys. Well, I guess Ghana has a huge connection to Black history too. So who best to start the conversation than the latest Ghanaian?
No, I'm not Ghanaian, I'm Nigerian.
So
that-
yes,
is,
Ewa,
The
yes.
way you set that up is crazy.
Yeah, hey. How did you celebrate Black History Month, Mr. AY Kweku Mensa?
Well, Black History Month is it's like we've seen the excitement even from the charts. Everybody's excited about
Oh,
the
yeah.
idea of celebrating Black history. And for me, I feel like it's a time to go back in time and just relive those moments of very, very important aspect of our history. I think if we do not pay attention to those moments or the history of how we got to where we are now, we will not appreciate where we are and then be able to even forge ahead for the future. So I think, and anytime Black History Month comes, every year, there's always those concerted effort to make sure that they are spreading, knowledge about Black history for those who do not know. So especially even online. So when you go online, you just see random posts of people, highlighting moments in history about Black history and all of that. So this has been a very huge part of my month, learning new things about Black history, the things I didn't know before. I'm like, okay, this actually happened and all of that. And then, there've been events too celebrating Black history. For example, the Pan-African
Diaspora Conference
that we've been, attending since yesterday. I mean, very interesting conversations they've been having, and I know we've been part of those conversations too. This episode, for example, totally dedicated to Black History Month, and then these conversations we've been having. So I feel like that's like what I've been doing basically for Black history, just learning about our stories and just say, okay, these are the things that happened that I still need to know about. And yeah,
That's amazing. So yes, who I guess who are your what moments, or who, when you think about Black History Month, what moments in history stand out most for you? I know you've been researching since you.
so for me, Black history is because I'm African, and I am, I wasn't born here.
Okay.
Right. So my own aspect of Black history extends beyond Black history in America.
Hallelujah.
Right. So if I'm going to mention moments in history, I would, of course, there's no how I will miss out on the civil rights movement, of course, in the United States, which is a huge part of
Black history.
Black history.
Right.
But I think the one that crowns it all for almost everyone was 2008.
Okay.
When Barack Obama became,
the first
was
Black.
elected president, because he became president in 2009 January. Was elected president, the first Black president. I mean, I feel like every Black person in the world.
It was a very pivotal moment.
Yeah, it was like very grand and very, very, like you said, pivotal moments in history. So that's like off the top of my head, that's like one moment in Black history that will never, because I remember leading to that election, there was this particular what's it called? This particular sound bites from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, okay. I have
a dream that was everywhere.
Wow.
And if you listen to that speech and then experiencing it in real time, that's there's going to be a time where Black people would be, you will not be viewed based on the color of your skin, but the content of your character.
Right.
And then we are living it in real time. That, kind of brings it to life. It gives you that,
it was something changed. Something shifted.
This is actually, it was just, I'm sure people that heard it that time, it sounded like this guy is crazy.
Right.
What do you mean? But now, we that were enjoying it,
you still hold your thoughts. You're still live on Awesome Radio Network, and this is still Pitt Perspectives. We'll continue with after the break.
The Power News Radio Network.
Martin Luther King Jr. is no doubt the greatest civil rights leader who ever lived. He referred to himself as a drum major for peace. 2 months before his passing, he preached about what he wanted to be remembered for.
I want you to say that I tried to love and serve humanity. Yes, if you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. I was a drum major for righteousness. And all of the other shallow things will not matter.
Black History Quotes from the Power News Radio Network.
Yes, welcome back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're tuned into Awesome Radio Network, and this is still Pitt Perspectives, your favorite weekend show, the show where we share stories, celebrate culture, and inspire community right here from Greenville, Eastern North Carolina, to the rest of the world. Yes, and today we're talking about all things Black history, as the grand finale. I think some people also say every day is Black history. But yes, today, every day, everything we're talking about today is Black history. So Esther Olamma Shadrach says, I've never consciously celebrated Black History Month. Well, I can see that it speaks to your points earlier too about growing up in Nigeria. Opas Feder says, there's this joke in my family about my great-grandfather. Okay, they said he was one of those taken into slavery, but somehow he escaped and found his way back. Wow. I mean, so one day my grandfather was angry with his own father and in frustration said, who knows, we might have been Black Americans by now if you hadn't tried to be too smart. That is wild. That is wild, past feathers. Yeah, but I think it's interesting to see where he escaped from, because was it back here from the US, or because, I mean, the Atlantic Ocean was a big, I guess, part of that whole journey. That's wild for sure. Yes, Ewa, you were talking about, the
so
I guess your favorite.
yes. So that's probably
what
like
moment,
because
the civil rights movement,
because for
right?
me, it was lived right because I was right there, seeing everything unfold.
Right. And I think that was probably, well, I guess for me, the first time, well, not the first time, but the closest I've come close to American politics in terms of, how huge, the ripple went around the board. Go ahead.
Yes, so in terms of history, that would probably be it. And of course, the civil rights, like I mentioned earlier, the civil rights movement and all of that. And then around that time, in the early 60s, then maybe late 50s, there was serious struggle back in Africa for independence for a lot of countries, because the colonial rule was still very much in full force in most parts of Africa. So that was the time a lot of African countries too were getting their independence, Nigeria, Ghana, and the rest of them. So it's also another very great moment in history. So because like I said earlier, it's not just in America, even back in Africa, Black history exists.
I think Black history is global, and I think it's something I'd like to mention. I don't think it's controversial to say that that Black history is global. And just like Omotayo is saying, I think we Africans in Africa don't celebrate these enough. We don't appreciate our Blackness and how much it means. When we leave the shores of this continent, we become more conscious and appreciate where we come from. Shout out to you, Omotayo. And then I think part of that too is from us in Africa being Black for the most part. So I think there is not that consciousness of being different or looking different. But go ahead.
That's actually very interesting, to me, because like I think it was Chimamanda that mentioned this in one of her interviews. That she didn't know that she was Black until she got to America. And that's our own lived reality.
Right.
As an African child, you don't see yourself as anything other than being human.
Right.
I'm just human, I'm African, I'm Nigerian, that's it.
Right.
So there is no that contrast of, oh, this person is white. And it was quite strange to me when I was at an event recently, and I'm talking little kids, maybe between 6 to 10 years old, maybe 11 max. And then there was a conversation on the table, and someone, and it got to the point, someone said, oh, this person is brown, this person is Black, this person is white. And in my head, I'm like, kids, like, when I was your age, I did not know anything about color. I was just me. Do you understand? So
that's interesting.
it was quite interesting to me, comparing it to my own lived reality of and that is why it feels like we don't celebrate it. It's not because we don't appreciate our being black, but because we do not there's no contrast of, oh, these people are this and we are this.
Right.
We are just we. Like you guys say, is it Swahili, the Ubuntu thing?
Ubuntu,
It's
Umubuntu.
in Zulu.
Is it Zulu? Yeah. Can you say?
Swahili. Umuntu ngubuntu nabantu.
So what does it
Slowly
mean?
now. Which
It
one?
means
Why
a
you?
person is only a person with other people.
Right. So
Ubuntu, Ubuntu,
there is
Ubuntu.
this I am
Umuntu
because
ngumuntu nabantu.
I am because you are. Yes,
Right.
that was what
That's
I
the
was
English
getting at. So
translation.
for us is the fact that I'm human, you're human, and we are just one big.
Right. So I just wanted to. It's been going on in the chat. Yeah. So Past Feder said, in relation to the earlier story about his great grandfather, his great grandfather replied calmly, when the next generation talks about me, let them say there were options I didn't choose. Interesting. So that's where it came from.
Quote came from.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing. Extol Lamashadrak says, we as Africans should learn more about us and also on our stories, so our children wouldn't be told things like River Niger was discovered by Bongo. That is interesting too. That is interesting. That's coming back to colonialism, which is interesting. Yes, Shari says, yes, I've heard that from a Caribbean man. He said he never knew color or prejudice until he arrived in USA. That's interesting. I mean, I think it's a painful reality that has to be faced.
And the funny thing for me personally, I know I said it somewhere before that the reason why I don't see the idea of color and saying this person is, first of all, I don't think anybody is white and I don't think anybody is black.
Okay.
In that sense, and I think it was Majek Fashek that said it in his song, where he said, they say you are white, they say we are black, and he said in that song that but only the angels of God are white. In that sense. So what he's saying in essence is, if you talk about color in that sense, nobody is, I feel like we are just the same, we are just different shades of the same color.
Which is
the color of humanity, the color of, if you, and I'm talking, I'm even saying literally now, if you look at color spectrum, if you bring brown, the color spectrum brown out, the brightest part of it is what the people we call white look like.
Oh wow.
And the darker part of it is what people we call black look like. So essentially we are all the same color.
Right. So Shari says, in regards to Africa, celebrating African history is similar to Caucasians not celebrating white history in America. I love history, all history. God is love. Period. Yeah, interesting take. Yes. Let's turn back now to someone who I don't know how much he knows about Black history. The resident Gen Z in the house. Yes.
I think this guy is out in full force today. But
yes.
don't worry.
How did you celebrate Black history? I mean, you've been looking bored out of your mind, bro.
No, I've been actually enjoying the conversations and learning more from how people wish that next generations think about their impact on the amazing Black history that we have. And honestly, it's interesting. Since being a student in the U.S., I've celebrated Black history differently to what I used to back home. So, for context, from South Africa, and we don't have Black History Month in February per se, but we do have a day that we celebrate our history and cultures, and that is called Heritage Day, and that is on Mandela's birthday on April 27th.
That's a whole different thing too.
Yes, but it's the closest thing to Black history I can think of.
What month is that?
April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. April 27th, and that is Heritage Day, and the celebrations. So being in the US, for example, we go to the Black Student Success Summit, which we have performed at for the last 2 years. And that's what we did, celebrating Black history this month. And just being in the community, learning from my local friends and, understanding the culture here, which is completely different to what we used to do back home. Back home, for Black history, what we used to do is we would dress up in our traditional attires. That's one. Everybody different, and would eat food from...
Palm fronds.
I'm wearing this color, by the way.
Yeah. AY the Ghanaian. Yes. Omotayo says,
you guys are fake African. Look at what you're wearing.
Omotayo says, I'm wearing Greenville United. Let's go, Greenville. Yes. Omotayo says, yes.
I'm wearing black on my skin. What are you going to say?
Nice. At the end of the day, the day's gonna end.
Yes. At the end of the day, please.
Please, guys, if you're listening and you want to adopt two adults, please.
At the end of the
these
day,
two are
the
up
day is
for
gonna
adoption.
end.
Okay, anyway.
Yes, Omotayo says yes. Saying someone is white and another is black is being racist. Bringing in the difference in skin color spurs this notion that there is a division in persons. Nice one, AY. Yeah, interesting. But I mean, it's interesting too how that whole thing is such a big deal here in the culture. It's been, I mean, a painful part of the history of this country. It's been the underlying force behind really a lot of conversations here, a lot of the politics, a lot of the policies, a lot of things too, which is interesting, But yeah, Gen Z, go ahead. So yeah, let me ask you this. So
Before,
okay.
ask your question.
Yeah, I was going to ask what moments in Black history inspire you the most and why?
Okay, well, for me, being from South Africa, it has to be 1994 when South Africa had the first black president, being Nelson Mandela. Even though I was not alive at that time, that's the best time in history, right? And also maybe the 1976 march that the students had
in South Africa.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Where Hector Pieterson is held in his arms after losing his life from police brutality.
Right.
That moment is.
It's interesting because you remember Chinua Achebe, the African writer. He was the managing
writer,
I mean Nigeria is in Africa, but he was the managing editor of the African Writers series. So if you looked at most of his novels, you see at the cover page inside, you see all these other novels by African writers. I mean, it was just interesting. So I had read a book, Mind Boy, from Peter Abraham, who was South African, and he basically shared the first person narrative of working in the mines in South Africa because it used to be a big deal, and I think
it still is. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's coal mines, right?
Yeah. And there's a lot of history with that too.
Yes, Mind Boy. I remember then. That was Zambia Shall Be Free by Kenneth Kaunda. Now, I mean, I'm having.
Do you guys know the Kenneth
memories.
Kaunda airport?
Yeah,
they have it
in Zambia.
In Zambia, yeah.
Lusaka.
Yeah, Lusaka, Zambia.
Hey, this boy is very worded. Hallelujah.
Who's that?
Me, of course.
Oh, but I've been there.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how I know the airport.
oh yeah, yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, why are you laughing? Yeah, I mean, I'm proud that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I still remember a lot of those things too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I think, as I was saying, so obviously 1994, Nelson Mandela being the first black president is the best moment for me.
Yeah.
And I've always, tried to live with his quotes. One being education is the most powerful weapon you can use to conquer the world.
Right.
Right. And that's very true. Without education, what are we?
that's true.
And
that's true.
the other one is it seems impossible until it's done. So that's
amazing. I mean,
those are really beautiful quotes from
that's
the
amazing.
one, the only Nelson Roli Shasha Mandela. Anyways, yes, Roli Shasha. His
Yeah.
So
That's
and then
amazing.
and how we celebrated black culture, as I was saying, is we would eat a lot of food, dress up traditionally, eat a lot of food from the different places, and we would always say poems. And from the
Say
top
what?
of
Poems? What's that?
Poems.
Oh, poems. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from the top of my mind, I can actually remember the ones that we used to recite because we had like so many. We used to sing, dance, and say poems. And two of the most powerful poems I can remember is one was I forgot the title of it, but it went Africa. They hypocritically came as ambassadors. She fought back and defied. Treasures tried, but she stood up for the cause. They pushed you to and fro, kicked you and called you names. Dark soil, land of my ancestors. Green fields fortified by African pride. I hail you, Africans, for standing up for the truth. And then it goes on. I hail you, Nelson
That's
Mandela.
interesting.
Yeah, I still remember it, but
that's why
it's blank in
it
my
feels
mind.
good to be young too.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've been. Yeah, go ahead.
And then the other one was I am a brother to the daughters of the land. And we would be like, we would have girls on this side and guys on this side.
Just reading poems.
Yeah, reading.
Were they
poems.
originals or something? Someone else wrote?
They were not originals.
Oh, okay.
our teachers would like bring up these
Interesting.
poems. Yes.
Interesting.
and-
So yeah, Opas Feathers in the chat says our educational system is doing a remarkable job of rewriting and sanitizing our history, shaping it into something more convenient and truthful. Honestly, I fear for the generation coming after us. That's interesting. I don't even know if history is being taught too. And I think there was something, I don't know if it was Chino Achebe that said something about history around how history is written by victors, like in conquest, it's the person, like essentially saying that until the lions begin to write their stories, every story of the hunts would always glorify the hunter, which is again instructive to be for us to take the responsibility to actually read about our history, learn about our history, and also share our history too, because it's important to do that. Yes, you are going to say something.
Yeah,
AY.
so I think it's related to the third question and what Patrick was talking about earlier. So for
Yeah.
me, I think one thing I would love to be remembered for, or to, like the last question talk about future generations and all, is to see me as somebody who contributed to telling African stories, especially in media, in terms
Right.
of movies, because for me, I learned a lot of my African history from watching movies.
Media
Even-
is such an important
even
tool. Go ahead.
even talking about when I talked about the civil rights movement, I wasn't
Right.
here, I'm not American, but a lot of it I learned from movies. And what I do most times, I love watching biopics a lot. So when I watch those movies, I then go to read about those people.
Sorry, yeah. So the questions are, someone in the chat says, please, the
Yes.
question. The questions are, how did you celebrate Black History Month this year? And what moments in Black history inspire you the most and why? Then what makes this month meaningful to you personally? And then the final one is, when future generations tell the story of this time, what do you hope they'll say you contributed? That's the question. So pass feathers. Yeah.
Okay, so I learned a lot of, and that what made me remember that was when Patrick was talking about South Africa and the apartheid and everything. I watched Mandela's Long Walk to. I mean, I know there is a book, but I actually watched the movie.
Yeah.
Long Walk to Freedom.
Long Walk to Freedom, and that was when I learned about a lot of things about South African history and how they were
AY.
apartheid
AY
thing.
is his name.
They say, what's the name of the other host, please? Not the Gen Z, not Mr. Victor.
It's AY. AY for Ayomi Deba.
Ayodeji.
Ayodeji. Yeah, Ayodeji.
So
The Ghanaian. Yeah.
anyways, I'm African. That's what matters. So I learned a lot of those things from movies. I learned about. So, for example, I talked about the apartheid and South Africa,
Right.
Nelson Mandela. So I want to be part of that story. I want to contribute my own part of it. And there are parts of, especially Nigerian history, of course, still African history,
Right.
that a lot of people don't know about.
Right.
More recently, people from my tribe, Yoruba people, have been making a lot of movies about Yoruba history, about major characters in Yoruba history, which people are learning about now. Lisabi is one of them,
Right.
from Abeokuta, and those kind of people. And then we get to understand what happened during those times, and I think it helps us to look ahead and know what is
Right.
possible, what we should be, people who fought for us in the
Right.
past, what they stood for, and we can learn from those
And
people.
I think just as importantly too, movies are actually propaganda. Yeah, in the sense of, think about how I tell people all the time how being in Nigeria and living in Nigeria, the American culture seems to be the most, like, the biggest exports of American people. Again, if you're living here, you don't get to see it, because think about how on Saturday mornings then, back in our white and black television, there were, like, movies you would watch about America, and most of those movies, the actor, like, would say the protagonist would be, America, an American, whether that was, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator, or Van Damme, or Dolph Lundgren, any of those things. And then there was also the boss, the antagonist, I guess, who probably comes from a different region, things like that. As a child, movies are a tool to not just educate, but it's also a tool to push an agenda. But I say that to say, I'll come to you. I say that to say that how we tell our stories matter. That's the point I was going to make.
Yeah.
How not necessarily rewriting history, but telling our stories in ways that are empowering, in ways that get, which is why representation is key to when people talk about history and leadership, or even black representation. How our stories are told. I think it's important that we tell those stories in a way that's empowering. you know but go ahead.
So we would have to
Oh,
actually go
yeah,
on
yeah.
this
This
break.
is still Awesome Radio Network. We have some in the chat to read out, but we'll be back right after the break. Don't touch the dial. Boom.
Thank you for listening to the Awesome Radio Network from whatever means you're listening. We're on the call sign of WECU 1570 AM and 107.5 FM, Greenville, Winterville, the Pitt County area, and parts of Kinston. On WNOS at 1450 AM and 102.3 FM, New Bern, Bayboro, Havelock, Pollocksville. On WBISLP 106.9 FM, our Hispanic Christian radio. On WYLT 100.3 FM, Rocky Mount, Nash, Edgecombe County. Don't forget, we are worldwide and global at awesomeradionetwork.org. Do you have something to say? A message for the masses? Reach us at 252-756-3137. That's 252-756-3137. We are Awesome Radio Network, where God gets the glory. A diaspora conference on Pan-Africanism and Black History celebrations, February 27th through March 1st on the campus of East Carolina University. There will be intellectual discussions, music performances, fashion shows, storytelling, cultural exhibitions, and more. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 27, 28, and March 1st, beginning 8 o'clock a.m. on the campus of East Carolina University. For more inquiries, email WANGILAM@ecu.edu. A diaspora conference on Pan-Africanism and Black History celebrations, February 27th through March 1st. Email WANGILAM@ecu.edu. Let's have an international dialogue.
Yes, welcome back to Awesome Radio Network, and this is still Pitt Perspectives, the show where we share stories, celebrate culture, and inspire community from right here in Eastern North Carolina to the rest of the world. And today we're talking about Black History Month. Talking about Black History Month, honoring the past, shaping the future. Yes, we've been trying to honor the past and shape the future here in the charts. We have Ada. Ada says, ooh, someone dropped something too. So Ada says, to celebrate Black History Month, the most I do is to talk about Black history and read about it. In other words, I don't do enough. Well, I don't think you don't do enough. I think everything helps. Talking about it, reading about it, it's helpful. Yes, Omotayo says the media, print and broadcast plays pivotal roles educating Africans. Back to the days when we watched Africans circle around Europeans just to touch their skin, how they presented us as little compared to the Western dudes. We have read it in the book, seen it on the screen. Yes, that's essentially goes back to what we were saying before the break, how media is a tool, to not just inform people, but stereotypes are
And that's why it's
reinforced
important
too.
that we take charge of telling
Right,
our own
and tell our
stories.
stories, yes, in a way that's empowering. Omotayo continues to say, Africans don't tell their stories enough. A lot of stories told about Africa were produced and financed by Europeans, and we lament they are not telling the complete story.
Yeah.
Yes, so
And then he
Paul
goes,
Feder says, yeah, history is written by the victor. Yes, I almost thought it was my own victor for a second. Yes, history is written by the victor, by those who survive it, because the version of COVID-19 my children will hear, I will be such a hero to sit at home for a year. So he was talking about he's talking about the COVID lockdowns. Yeah. I think in Nigeria we had to sit at home for like a year or so.
It wasn't up to a year.
Oh yeah, but a number of months.
Yeah.
Yes. Omotayo says they can't tell a complete story that shade them off and make them look less prominent. Africans all over the world need to tell their stories via the media and every other means. Yes, that's really important because, I mean, I say a lot about storytelling because the way we understand life is, even our lives are situated in narrative.
Yes.
You know, so stories are important. Stories are how we make sense of the world. Stories are how we shape the world. So it's important to tell uplifting stories too.
And there's a way, these things can be very inspiring. I want to give you an example of the Long Walk to Freedom. So the first time I watched the movie, it just kind of happened that during that same period, the school authority, because I was in Ife then, the school authority then had just increased school fees, and we thought it was very unjust to have done that at the time. So students organized a protest, right? On the eve of the protest, I was watching Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom. That was the wrongest side, and I was watching it along with my roommates.
You inspired for the wrong
and
reasons.
when we were done watching him, we were like, tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, life.
And I think it's important. Whenever so it's not just Mandela's Long Walk. When I watch some of these movies, even I watched Judas and the Black Messiah, for example, talking about Fred Hamilton. Fred Hamilton was 21 years
Fred
old.
Hampton,
sorry,
of the
was,
Black Panther Party.
He was
21.
21. Like I was so inspired. Like, what am I doing with my life? This guy at 21 was leading this kind of. So those kind of stories inspire me, and that's why I watch a lot of biopics. So those kind of stories will inspire you to want to seek for justice,
change your life. Even some stories like really change your life. I mean, it's incredible the power of stories to shape people's lives, and I think again, like we all agree, it's important that we take charge of how we tell our stories. And I think there are a lot of Black creators too who are telling these stories, and inspiring people.
Yeah.
I think there was some movie last year about
Six Triple Eight.
Six Triple Eight. Yeah, everybody I know that watched the movie cried, which was
Except
interesting.
me.
Hey, why are you lying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was gonna say let's just run through quickly the upcoming
Yes.
events.
It's been an amazing conversation. Thank you all for all engaging with this. Yes.
Yeah, we
Upcoming community events. Let's go.
We have the Pan-African Black History Celebration from
Going on.
February 27th to
Yesterday.
March 1st at Jenkins Building at ECU. Join our discussions, music, fashion, and exhibitions.
Yes, we also have frogs. Frogs are the friends of the Greenville Greenways. Yes, they are having an Elm Street Park Greenway cleanup today, February the 28th, from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. at 1055 South Elm Street. Let's keep Greenville clean and beautiful. Anyway, next one.
Yes, we have Greenville Music Multicultural Arts Festival 2026 at Wildwood Park, Saturday, March 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So there will be artists, performances, vendors, food truck. Make sure you're there. I know Victor is going to be performing on that day.
Yeah,
so come and see
we
Victor.
all are.
Yes, come
and
and see
see
Victor in
Victor.
person. Yeah,
He's-
he might be.
yes,
We are all
come and see Victor.
performing.
Yes.
But
Come
yes,
and see Victor.
Victor is a very great performer.
Yes, come and see
Come and
Victor.
see Victor.
it depends
Yes.
on where.
To end this show today, we're going to end it with the poem. The
Hold
poem
on,
has
hold
come
on.
to my mind.
Hold on. At 21, Omotayo says, at 21, as a Nigerian now, this is sad. Your life has no direction yet. Survival and forging ahead should not be played in the same sentence. Yeah, I mean, isn't that like a lot
So
of
the
parts in
irony
Africa?
of
For you
it,
people-
actually, the irony of it is, no, we don't have time for this.
Yes,
Don't
you
worry,
don't.
let me get to
So
it.
let's end this with the poem.
Yes,
It's
yes,
called
yes.
Son of the Soil.
Okay.
And imagine girls on this side, boys on this side, and go, son of the soil. I am a son of the soil. A brother, the girls go to the daughters of the land. Heartically, I am a bona fide of Africa. Rootically, I am African. Son of the soil, forever.
Yes.
Woo! Come on, one time for Patrick. Oh yeah. Amazing,
I'm sure this
amazing
conversation
stuff.
is going to continue at the Pan-African.
Yes,
We are
diaspora
on the
Pan-African.
panel
Yes,
for-
these guys
for
are on the
youths, yeah.
panels from 3 to 3:30.
Yes,
I think.
yes.
Yes, come out to ECU to see these guys on the panel. It's been amazing from you all. See you next week. Boom.